Hey, Happy New Year, guys. Happy New Year. So, I figured I'd start the year off with the MCD. So this MCD, I had a 50 GT head on it, and 50 GT cylinder, 50 GT head, kind of unmolested. Yeah, dropping stuff. But anyway, keep the video going. So ended up doing a 71 head a while back. I had the head for the Vesla. I had a couple of them, a couple of cylinders for the Vesla, and I had 3. I'm running one on there now that's like a high compression, but I did one, and when I first did it, I started by raising up, the transfers, raised the transfers up, and raised the boost up. And I also expanded the port, as it was supposed to be 50%. And I think I got like about 55-60%. So I overdid the exhaust. And with the boost ports, technically I should not have raised the second one. Maybe just the first one I should have raised, but not the second one. But the transfer, I figured I had to raise that when I raised the ceiling on the exhaust. So this was all just to get more RPM and flow out of this motor. So when I put it back on a 71 and ran it, the 71 had more RPMs, but it lacked a lot of torque. It just didn't have any torque. So I just shelved the head. It's about a year ago I did it. And I put a regular head on there without the raised transfer ports, just raised the boost port a little bit and raised the top, but I didn't do any of the side porting. And that head is running great. But for the 50 GT, which one was it? This is the 50 GT head I was running on it. So this 50 GT head is the one that I was running on that motor. As you can see, had to raise up the transfers, the boost port, and I raised the exhaust, but I didn't really go into the those little boost ports or whatever. Didn't have the tooling to do it. But the head worked fine. Winter times here, this is another head I did, but the stud broke in it. But I think this one was actually the best one that I actually got done. So it's still a good head. I just have to drill that out and retap it. But so long story short, winter times here, I said, you know what, let me throw the 71 back together, but let me put it on this MCD. So I had the car running, I took it apart, and I'll explain that for a reason. But 71 head, this cylinder with the smaller 50 GT head still on the 71 cylinder. So what I did was shim the cylinder. I threw about 2 or 3 metal shims and a base gasket, raised up the exhaust, and threw it all together. Now it works great. A while back I changed up this carburetor for methanol, so I took it all apart. I hammered the freaking the high flow needle out, bored inside of it, bored all the jets inside, all the fuel jets inside and everything like that, and I put it back together. Got the carb to work properly, got this to work properly. Now the next step, guys, is methanol. So I picked up this fuel pump, vacuum operated fuel pump. So what is it, Mikuni? Yep. So I'm gonna get some fuel pressure into this carb so I could see how it likes methanol. So I was able to put this car together. I had it running on methanol. The reason everything's apart right now, I figured I'd do that and make a quick video. Oops. Because I had to drill and tap for the vacuum port for this. So with that drilled and tapped, I'll have the vacuum port, I have a vacuum hose coming off of that into this, powering this probably down here somewhere. So it'll come right down into here. And then I'll have the fuel tank right here. It'll power this, boom, boom, boom. And then I'll have some positive pressure. Now on initial testing, this thing is absolutely explosive on methanol. It's a night and day difference, but you just don't get the flow. It just needs so much methanol to actually run properly at full throttle that you just don't get the flow. And even at low throttle, it's just hard to push. So with the fuel pump, I'm hoping I can get the flow I need to actually be able to adjust my throttle, my needles. Because at this moment, when it's on methanol, I loosen all my needles and it's still not flowing enough. At idle or at full throttle, it's just not enough fuel. So I'm hoping that will rectify the situation. And yeah, and I wanted to make this video because it's hard to believe that this is actually a 71 with the regular 50 head. Yeah, so I made the video here just so people will see that there is actually a 71 piston in here. That is a Supreme, as you can see. So there is actually a 71 piston, and that is the 71 head. But you can't really tell the difference on looking on the outside, except for that the cylinder head is the only way you could tell the difference. But the cylinder is really identical when you're looking at it. But that's the port work I did to it. I know we got a lot of good porters out there. Let me know what you think about it. As you can see where the line is, that right here is where the piston stops. So I got enough volume in there, very low compression. But with this head on it, it's actually high because this head is narrower. The cylinder head is actually narrower. So without it, the cylinder head will actually touch that top without the shims. But the base, the piston, the cylinder, this is early in the morning, guys, but the piston stops at that line. So I have a ton of volume on the top for the methanol to combust, and it's, if you see the flow pattern, this is the flow pattern on the piston. It looks great to me. It looks great. So the burn pattern on the piston looks great. I've been running it on 93 octane just to make sure I get the tune right on the carb, make sure it's not crazy, because it can run higher. I can raise the compression dramatically, but it just doesn't make sense. If I'm running it on methanol, the lower the better. I can get the most volume of gas in there and explode it in it. This thing absolutely screams on methanol. If anybody has a 50 GT or even a 71, I don't know how much horsepower this thing is making on meth, but on pump it's great. It's fun. But on meth, it is explosive. So I want to get it to run on meth properly. So this week, hopefully, I'll have another video out and just sharing the progress with it. Again, it's a Taylor RC. It's a 71 GT head, 71 GT cylinder head, cylinder, 71 GT cylinder, 71 Supreme with a 50 GT head on it. I'm running a lot of port work on there. I'm running the carb to get some fuel pressure, and I'm gonna run it on pure methanol and not E85. But it's nice to know that I can run on E85 as well. And I think instead of running on 93, I'll run it on E85 regularly. But actually, I have a 5-gallon can of methanol, so there's never a reason to run it on anything but pure methanol. So I'm just gonna run this on pure methanol and just keep a little regular gas to flood it out when I'm done running it on meth, and see how long it lasts, and see how successful it is. And if it's really successful, I will convert a couple other cars to meth. But also did a lot of porting in here. I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's a lot of port work. I did a lot of port work to the case. narrowed it up, took away most of where I felt the restrictions were in the case. I don't know if it shows, but yeah. And I also had another nipple on the other side, but I'm not using it, so I have it sealed off. So I put the nipple here for the fuel pump, and yeah. So I'm gonna put this all back together, and I'm waiting on a nipple for this. I should get it today or tomorrow. I might try to pick it up. I don't know where I can get one locally, but I'm using a M6, the M6 hole, and a nipple for it, because the booster pump is going to need a lot of vacuum, a lot of good vacuum pressure on it to make sure it's pulsing good. So I got a nice size nipple in there for that, threaded in there. And then I have what am I using? 1/4-inch fuel tubing. So I'll be using a 1/4-inch fuel tubing. I do have some adapters to bring it back to standard size. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna end up taking this apart and pulling this fuel tube out and tapping it. I do have a nipple here, but it's still, I don't think it's gonna flow more. What do I have? I'm not sure if it's gonna flow more volume than what's on their standard. So I'm gonna take a look at what's on their standard, see if it's gonna flow more or not, and then modify it as needed. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this build. I'm thinking maybe to modify it with something that size, but I don't think it makes sense. So I'll just use like an adapter to get the fuel to size down from here to here, and then cut it down a little bit. I think that'll work. Let me know what you think, guys, with the fueling, and any ideas, just let me know. And I also think it's going to need a bigger clutch, but since this is a first generation motor, I'm kind of stuck with that. So we'll just see how it all works out, and go from there. Like, subscribe if you have any comments. Also, with this MCD, I did this was supposed to be a Max Pro, but it came as just a Max Standard. It's weird. It came with the Max Pro everything, but the diffs came as regular diffs. So I upgraded all the diffs. I did an ultimate diff in the middle. I think it's a 90 lock, and then I did the quicker lock in the rear and a looser one in the front. I actually had it reversed and the car was pushing, so I just swapped the diffs around. And I haven't taken it out yet to see if I got it to rotate, but it does get a lot of traction, man. With the diffs, you get a lot of traction. It's different than the Rovin, which I have over there in the corner. And you see that it's my all-weather Rovin. It's pretty cool. So yeah, thanks for spending 13-14 minutes with me. Winter stuff is going on, but a lot of salt on the ground, but I'm gonna get this out on methanol. It doesn't matter what the weather is, but the plan is on the summer, on a 100-degree day, I have this jamming away on methanol. It's gonna run cooler. I don't have to worry about it, and I'd have a lot of fun with it. So I'm waiting to see how methanol works. I got the high flow reed valve in there, so this thing is turning RPMs, guys. It's turning as much RPMs as this poor rebuilt motor can handle, but the crank is looking good, the rod is looking good, the piston, this is an old piston. I just pulled it out of the box over there. I don't even know what's going on with it, but it held up. It's looking good. Everything is looking good. This was an old head. I just decided to grind on it. It worked out. So I'm gonna get it all back together and get you on a video with it working, hopefully by the end of the week. So stay tuned, like, subscribe, and hopefully I'll pretty much work on all of my gas cars in the off season here and get them all running and take them out and beat the shit out of them before the summertime. So I'll make videos on all of them, and if you have any questions, I'll be happy to help, and It's a nice community we have here. Most of us hang out by ourselves. A lot of us have groups and shit. Hit me up. I'm around, guys. Let me know. You guys take care.